recover from our turkey hangovers, it is once again time to be thankful for the pre-orders episode of the Campus Comics Cast. This is Scott Reed, and I'm joined by
Mike Atchison.
Hey, and it's time to start talking about those, February 2026 books. But before we dig in, just want to give a couple of shout-outs here on some feedback that we received on our first 5 Jonah Hex, I guess our Western episode.
Yep.
So first one here is from Eric at Longbox Review, basically saying he thinks his first Jonah Hex story was the best of the year digest, the 1979 story from Minister of the Lord. And then, of course, he suggested that we read more about Jenny Hex in Young Justice Volume 3. Have you ever read, Mike, that first Jenny Hex story in Batman Giant, number 4?
I don't know. I don't think I had that. No, I just read that Young Justice volume or that series. Yeah.
I have like 2 or 3 copies of that book, and I probably need to pull that out and read that story.
Well, to be honest,
to see if it's something I'd want to read.
I'm sure. In fact, I think I did read it, but I think I got rid of that book pretty quick. I didn't even give it a thought about it being the first appearance of Jenny X. But then again, she's not gone anywhere since Young Justice. Like so many of Brian Michael Bendis' characters in the DC universe, it's frustrating because Naomi and Jenny Hex, and you had all these pretty good concepts. The only one I really didn't like was Superman giving up his secret identity, and I'm glad they retconned their way out of that. Yeah. But overall, he had a few good starts on stuff and just nothing. But
yeah, and it was like Legion. Of course, he didn't get to finish really the Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah. No, it wasn't my favorite take on the Legion, but I think it would have grown on me if it had more time. It just and the Rose and Thorn, not your character that you would think would be a millennium spanning character, through time. Just interesting ideas, but then again, it just never had a chance to really develop.
Exactly, do anything. Yeah. So, and then also on the Jonah Hex episode, he had a comment from Michael Cathro. Nice episode. One of my favorite experiences with Jonah Hex was in Justice League of America 198 and 199, when some of the JLAers are transported to 1878, where they meet DC's Mount Rushmore of Western characters: Jonah Hex, Batlash, Scalp Hunter, and Cinnamon. When you first mentioned Marvel characters, my first thought was Ghost Rider. I think we did mention him on the episode. And I was glad to hear you bring him up as well. I liked when he showed up in the West Coast Avengers storyline. That was pretty early in the ongoing West Coast Avengers storyline, if I remember correctly. He did say that Ain't No Grave was an entertaining miniseries. He's currently picking up the Gray Palmiotti series and the New 52 All-Star Western series, but he hasn't read them yet. So he can let you know what you thinks about them. Maybe I'll have Tombstone playing in the background, Mike, just for you while you read them.
Nice.
And then sometimes I'll post up, reels and Michael once again commented that he thought Jonah Hex was a great character for do a first 5 on. So we appreciate those comments, Eric and Michael. So thanks for doing that. So you ready for the catalog, Mike?
I also, just real quick though, I want to thank Michael again, because he also sent an email. I don't want to get into the details because it's about a book that was covered a few months ago on the Road Show, and I'll talk about it on those show notes, or whenever we have our next recording. But I really appreciate him chiming in on this particular book. It's the Killer Be Killed episode. So thank you again, Mike, for reaching out to us.
Yeah, and it's tough when you're doing a podcast and you don't get a lot of feedback, because but last weekend, whenever I was at the show that I do in Evansville, Indiana, I actually had 3 people tell me, one of them being Michael Cathro, mention or talk about the podcast to me. So it's like, so we know there are people out there listening. It's nice to hear that every once in a while. We're not just in a I feel like sometimes we're in the cone of silence talking to each other.
Right. We're just talking into the void. But that's right. I mean, you and I have talked about this before. This is a nice outlet for us, even if there weren't anyone listening. It's a way for us to kind of talk about stuff, and it's just an added benefit when you know that people are listening, and even have a chance or take the time to give us some feedback. That's always gratifying.
All right, so my first thing in next phase is on page 27.
I will let you take it
Oh, okay. So,
because I'm sure we'll again have a lot of the same things.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
So this is from AWA, Black Moon Ritual. This is a one shot. So this is just a continuation of the Protopius collection, which of course is based on, we've said that I think every single time, based on the Futurific Studios,
Mm-hmm.
PBS's A Brief History of the Future, and AWA that explores the many possible futures that could come to pass as we try to make the right choices in imperfect reality. So again, it's kind of that idea of where certain technologies are heading, what bad could actually come out of those. So we talked
Right.
about the bad from, they talked about the bad from green technologies, and now it looks like we got something to do with, I don't know, surfing and water in this one. I have been picking these up and reading them. They are good, but unfortunately, it's like, there's not really like a long-term future for this series. So they're really just kind of one and dones
Yeah.
type stories, which is a little disappointing, and they really don't tie to each other because they're all taking like their own, like it's like a different version of what the future might look like.
Right.
So I'm gonna just finish it out because I don't think there's supposed to be very many more. In fact, this might be the last one. 'Cause I thought there were supposed to be five of them,
Mm-hmm.
but who knows?
Yeah. In a way, it reminds me a little bit of the assorted crisis events, except for what you just mentioned. Assorted crisis events by Dennis Camp has a through line. It has one character that is actually sort of tying all of these different realities together. Whereas this, it is all completely independent and separate from one, as far as we know at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be something. Who knows?
I've not noticed a single character that is in all of the issues. So it's, if it's there, it's not, they're not really bringing that character to the front. But the worlds just all seem very different. So I don't really
Yeah.
feel like how there could be a tie-in. So, but maybe they'll prove me wrong, which would be great. Then I had to go back and reread them because they weren't bad reads. They were pretty good, but it's just like I said. I don't know. I wanted a little bit more continuity between them. So.
I wish I could chime in on that because I'm just so far behind on my new comic reading. It's not that I haven't been reading, but
No,
it's,
yeah, I say you've been reading a ton. You've been reading a lot more than me. Well, I think I was the one that hit 500 first, but you have blown past 600, and I'm not there. So
my goal is to get to 7 before the end
yeah,
of the year, which I think
I
I will. So,
might get to 6. We'll see.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think I got like 20 something, 23, 24 to go before
yeah.
I hit 600.
So yeah, I don't have anything now until DC.
Okay, well, all right, I got one more thing. This is on page 46. We
Okay.
talked about this last time from Bad Idea. This is and I think I have the wrong page number again. Hold on a second. No, I don't. It's the
Two
Hank
Hollywoods?
Howard, Hank Howard Pizza Detective number
Oh
2.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I didn't realize this was a 2-issue series.
It's the
So
explosive finale. Yeah.
yeah. So we went from thought it was an ongoing to it being 2 issues. So that was
Wow.
kind of weird. So I
That's
just, for anybody who was following that, it was odd. So
2025's Man Bat.
oh,
Man Bat was a 2-issue series.
okay. All right. So now I'm at page 87 in DC as well. So
Okay, that's still you then.
well, I will let you take
Oh
this
no,
one.
I think
Yeah.
I put 88 because anyway, it's
Oh, the
all really.
first.
It's not any one particular book. It's just same thing. I'm sure you were going to talk about is that DC is relaunching its Vertigo imprint.
Mm-hmm.
The original being launched in 1993, and it was really something that brought a lot of readers to comics because of its adult and it had a it's more hardcore adult storytelling
And
and
adult as in mature
yeah,
storytelling,
right, yeah, I
not
don't
as in
mean
yeah,
pornographic or something.
yeah,
No,
not as in
it's
triple
just
X storytelling.
no. I mean, it's just mature readers type
Mm-hmm.
stuff and yeah, and it for some reason DC dropped it. What, maybe 5 years ago? Would you say?
Yeah, whatever, sometime before Black Label started.
But it
So
it was dying a slow death anyway at that point as far as content goes. But they're kicking into high gear now with what, about 5 titles? It looks like one, two,
mhm.
three, four titles. So do you want to talk about some of them?
Well, I do, but one of my comments here on page 87 is that this is something that should have never gone away.
Yeah.
Now they are being a little, I don't know if hyperbolic is the right word, but it's like DC Vertigo is back, and it's nothing you've seen before. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Probably
Because
not
like
true.
literally the first title is Nice House by the Sea, which we've seen 6 issues of that before. So
Yeah.
and I think this wasn't was Nice House a black label, or was it just like in some limbo, just a book?
I feel like it had to be Black Label
But it wasn't
because
the magazine size like a lot of the black
no, it
labels
wasn't,
were.
and that wasn't like the. I know a lot of them were magazine size, but
Yeah,
they didn't have to be. I don't know. I can't tell you, but I know it was more of a mature reader. You
yeah.
know, the violence and the stuff that was going on in it. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
but
that's the first series was Nice House by the Lake, and then
hmm
so Nice House by the Sea is
yeah.
basically a sequel or a spinoff from that.
hmm So yeah, so again, it's just like it should have never went away to begin with, and they had plenty of titles. I think this is as much now of it's not like they're responding to like any great outcry any longer. All the outcry was when they first did it. So
Hmm.
now they're probably just protecting the brand and by
Sure.
bringing it back. But yeah, I don't know. There is going to be, keep an eye out at your local comic shop for the DC Vertigo A New Beginning promotional book featuring lettered previews of the 4 launch titles available as a free handout in January 2026.
Oh,
So be
okay.
sure to watch for that in your LCS.
Yep.
And then I'm on 90, but you might want to talk about the other stuff.
No, I mean, if you want to talk about this, you're talking about Bleeding Hearts.
Actually, yes, I guess so.
Yeah, go
And the
ahead.
reason why my note is, Mike, I assume you want to talk about this book.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Other than
because of
it's
the writer.
yeah, Dennis Camp. Yeah, he's one of
hmm
my new favorite writers, our favorite new writers. I guess I should say it that way. I don't know much about the premise except it's zombie, which isn't
hmm
necessarily right up my alley.
hmm
But I'm willing to give it a try because Dennis Camp has a way of surprising people. He has done some offbeat stuff. He's done some mainstream hero stuff as well,
hmm
but when you think of the assorted crisis events and you think of Martian Manhunter, a whole
Yeah,
different unusual take on that.
the absolute
Yes,
Martian
yeah, yeah, right,
Manhunter.
right,
Yeah,
right, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick all these up just
Okay.
because I just think I should. Yeah.
Well, I do plan to pick up End of Life #1 on page 92, primarily because it's Kyle
Hmm.
Starks.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't sound, again, DC is, promoting this as, I wonder, as it's nothing you've seen before. Well, I think we've seen man, child, adult assassins before, which is what the premise is here in End of Life #1 by Kyle Starks. I mean, Peacemaker,
Yeah.
I think, which Kyle Starks also recently wrote a series for that,
Yep.
really fits that description as well. But but yeah, it's got. I guess it's an ongoing because they don't list it as a one of six or as a one shot.
Right.
So I
Perf-
guess it will go until it can't. So it will be one of Vertigo's new ongoing titles. And then 93. Did you want to talk about 93?
I just want to say now, Chris Condon. I can't put my thumb on what I've read of his before.
Probably that Texas Blood.
That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. But Jacob Phillips, being the son of Sean Phillips of the Brubaker and Phillips team,
Who we'll talk about later.
yeah, you can see the resemblance in art style. I definitely am going to get this, the Peril of the Brutal Dark and Ezra Kane mystery. I don't know if we should know who Ezra Kane is. I don't.
I
Uh,
don't either. Yeah.
but they make it kind of like sound like it's a property that's been around before. Maybe it's an adaptation from a book. I don't know, but I'm like I said, I'm going to get all 3 of these or all 4 of these, I should say. But this one is the one that's got me the most interested, I think.
Okay, so Ezra Kane, Brutal Dark. So this is an article published June 25th of 2020. So there was a series called Brutal Dark: The Adventures of Ezra Kane P.I.
Mm.
I'm looking to see if I can find out.
I bet it's just a prose novel series.
Well, it's Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. So
Oh,
with it being, it almost has to be. Gosh, I'm trying to find something a little bit more definitive. But so there is definitely some history there
yeah, I see. It's their
for that
probably
title.
their creator owned stuff, and oh, the Enfield Gang Massacre too.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what they wrote. Hmm.
Um, let's. Oh, I guess. Okay. So are you plan? You said you're planning on picking up all three of these.
All four.
All
Well, no. I
four.
mean all three. Yeah, Nice
All
House
three
by
of
the
the.
Sea
I'm
is
sorry.
number seven.
Not
Right.
Nice House, but
Right.
the other three
Yes.
number ones.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. So I tell you what. I will. I will also pick up the all three of the number ones,
Okay.
and then on a future episode we'll talk about them.
Sounds good.
So End of Life number one, The Peril, the Brutal Dark, and Ezra Kane Mystery number one,
Bleeding Hearts.
and Bleeding Hearts number one. So all right. And by the way, those Nice House by the Sea, Bleeding Hearts number one, End of Life number one, and the Ezra Kane Mystery number one all have connecting variant covers.
Oh,
So if you
there
buy
you go.
those, you can have a little nice little homage, or not homage, but a mural.
Yeah, mural.
Of,
Yeah,
of all
right.
the
A
characters.
collage
There we
mural.
go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at 97.
I'm going to go ahead and make a mention here on 96, the DCKO final issue. It's, well, I'm sorry, it's number 4. It's the final 4 put to the absolute test. So whoever's left in the tournament is apparently going up against the absolute versions of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. And I've read the first issue, but nothing else. I don't know if I forgot to order the other, number 2, or if it's even out yet. But or maybe I just haven't been to the shop in a while. But yeah, I don't know if I don't know where we're going with this, but I'm not even sure how many of these KO main title issues there's going to be. But
Right.
yeah, I've kind of started, so I may continue. I'm not going to get these side bar ones or these tie-ins, but you're
Tie-ins.
getting ready to talk about that, I think, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about both of these books here on page. What page is that? Page 97.
Yeah, and I know
All
now.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is DCKO Boss Battle. Were you gonna talk about either one of these, Mike?
No, but
Okay.
I'm wanting to take back what I said that I won't buy any of the tie-ins because this would be the one
This would be
tie-in
the
I'm
one.
going to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this tie-in, this is written by Jeremy Adams and Joshua Williamson, art by Various, but it's DCKO Boss Battle number one. I'm assuming this is a one-shot, but now I cannot name all of these characters, but here on the cover, it looks like we have Vampirella, Homelander. I don't know if that's supposed to be Megan, the doll from like the horror movies.
No, it's that
Red-
Annabelle.
Oh, Annabelle.
Annabelle,
Okay, Annabelle.
yeah.
Thank you. I
Yep.
got my doll movies messed up here, apparently. I think I've seen Annabelle, but I haven't seen Megan, so I'm not sure why I would have picked Megan over Annabelle, but that was the first thing that popped in my mind. And then I think this is Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. Now, I'm not for sure who the bear is.
The
with
bear
Dremel.
is the bear from Beneath the Trees
Oh, okay.
series. That's I forget the publisher that puts that out. It's apparently quite the book, and
Yes.
it's hard to
Okay.
find the first appearance or the first few issues of this. They went like hotcakes. What is this? How's the rest of it go? Beneath the Trees, where I don't
do
know
not
how the
know.
rest of it goes, but yeah, that's the bear. I think the bear
Okay.
is from that.
All right. So anyway, you have all of these non-DC characters make an appearance in the KO storyline, and I guess this is going to give us a chance to finally have the Superman versus Homelander battle. that
Yeah.
Nobody asked for, but apparently we're going to get it.
Yeah.
And then, go ahead.
I was just going to say it is Beneath the Trees where nobody sees. And I was looking up to see if I could find a confirmation that is, but I can't. So just going to have to go with my assumption there.
All right. You know what happens when you assume, Mike.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll try not to do
But
that.
yeah, but also on page 97, we have DCKO Night Fight number 4. Now, I just saw something pop through, I guess, my Facebook feed, and I didn't really give it any thought until I saw this image in the pre-orders catalog. But apparently, Batman becomes a grandpa in this particular comic. So there you go. So I
Oh.
guess what we have here is maybe Damien's son. So I guess in KO we have some multiversal stuff, and I don't know, but we could have Grandpa Batman.
Oh my gosh. Pick it up, folks. It's gonna be worth a mint.
Mint, yes, 1 peppermint. That's what it's going to be worth. Maybe. All right, I'm on page 100.
Okay, I'm on page 104, so you can go ahead. Yep.
Really, I'm surprised you didn't talk about this. 'Cause I thought you were a Gotham City Sirens fan.
Oh no. Not at
No,
all. Nope.
really?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well, Gotham City Sirens are getting a new 4-issue series written by Teeny Howard, art by Babs Tarr. I'll just leave it at that, 'cause I'm also not really a Gotham City Sirens fan.
Yep. I know Babs Tarr. I've read some of her stuff. Our her seen her art, but yeah, I didn't I never read the first series or however many there's been. I just know it's a sort of another bird of prey type group of female heroes.
Okay. All right, 104 then.
Yeah, 104 is, well, I'm sorry, my numbering system is not working very well. Oh, it's Absolute Superman number 16. Again, still written by Jason Aaron, and it's got the apparently the first appearance of the Absolute version of Hawkman. So, if that's, I know that's not the final cover, but that looks like a pretty cool cover either way, and I'm going to definitely. I haven't been picking up all of the absolutes, just if something, if it's like a new DC character in that universe, I've been getting them. But yeah, I definitely want this. Hawkman's one of my, I'd say, top 5 or 6 or so DC characters.
106. The only thing I want to add is Nightwing 135 is for those people who like nothing but Nightwing. They should grab that one.
Yep. I'm at
113 is my next thing.
I'm at 111, and let's find out why. It is. Oh, I did not expect to choose this to talk about, but it's the Superman Chains of Love special. Remember, this is the catalog that's the books are coming out in February, so of course we're gonna hit all the romantic stories. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because it's got the Creeper in it, and Creeper and this villain Livewire are apparently in a having a little dalliance, and Creeper's a cool character. I've always liked him, and it's got Leah Williams and Dan Slott as writers, so hopefully one I'm more confident in than the other, and then that will weigh in on how this turns out. But yeah, I'm gonna get this because it's got a Creeper appearance.
I'm on 113.
Yep, you're still up then.
Okay, so Wonder Woman number 30, not written by Tom King. Mike, did you mention this last
Hmm.
month that he was taking a hiatus from the book?
Yeah, well, it's just, yeah, I don't know how long, but
Okay.
yeah, for a while.
Okay. Well, I guess it's at least 2 issues, so I guess it'll be interesting to see if he comes back on issue number 31 or if that's going to be an extended hiatus.
I know he
So,
was recently, not to give an absolutely free plug to CGS, but I'm happy to. But they just interviewed Tom King on their either their most recent episode or the one before. But I haven't listened to it yet. But I'm wondering if I'm almost certain one of them's going to ask him, "How long are you off Wonder Woman?" Because I think they've all liked it too.
okay. All right. I think I'm actually done with DC, so it's you until we get to
Okay.
Dynamite.
All right, on 115, we have the new history of the DC Universe, the Dakota Incident. So we have somewhat of a an addendum to the four-issue run by Mark Waid that kind of talked about the mainstream DC Universe history. This is concentrating on the Dakota Incident, which was led to several African American heroes, including Static and Rocket and others. And I don't know how if they're
The milestone characters,
the milestone
right?
characters. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. I'm anyway. I had it marked. I bought all of those, the most recent milestone books that came out a couple years ago, but I haven't seen anything in a while. But I think I'll get this. 126, we have Wonder Woman Historia, The Amazons Absolute Edition. So I don't get many absolutes, but my gosh, look at that cover on that. That sort of leather bound, or it looks
Hmm.
leather, hardcover. It's, I don't know, I almost have to get it just for that. It's $100 for about 300 pages, and I think that would look great on the shelf. And moving on to 136, I'll give you two for the price of one. You have, first of all, DC Finest Western, and I'm only saying that because it's appropriate since we just covered a couple of Western
Oh.
characters and stories
Hmm.
last episode. And this is basically a collection of DC's Western books, including stories involving Jonah Hex
Hmm.
and Firehair and El Diablo and Hawk, and it's from a variety of different books from mostly like the Bronze Age. So, uh, I mean, if you like that kind of thing, or if you just are, I mean, for 600 pages, it's only $40, so that's a pretty good deal. And
Yeah,
got
so if you
some,
don't want to go to some non-reputable website to be able to read All Star Western 11 and
right?
Weird Western
Yes,
Tales 12 and 13, but
yes,
then you'll be able to soon get these on the DC app as well, I assume.
yes.
So
If that was my other comment, if we had chosen to say cover Jonah Hex first 5 6 months from now, we could have said,
exactly,
hey,
yeah,
we'll just pick this up.
yeah, I think that comes out in April.
Then we got on the same page, you have the Batman by Neil Adams Absolute Edition, and I mentioned it because that's one of my favorite images of by Neil Adams of the Batman. I remember at a C2E2 in 2017 or 18, I got to talk to Neil Adams, and I brought it up, saying I love that image. It was so popular they put it into like the banner of some of the Batman comics, and he made a comment in a very sardonic way. They go, "Yeah, they never paid me for that either." And so I didn't know what to say after that. I'm like, "Okay, goodbye." But yeah, so that's all I have in DC.
Okay. I've got 197 in Dynamite. So do you have anything before 197?
No, I got. Wait, I do have 211.
Oh, so I'm okay.
Oh,
I'm
that
before
is,
you
yeah, I
then.
got
Yeah.
two. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so 197. This is not something I'm going to buy, but anytime I'm at a show, I almost always have somebody ask for Army of Darkness. So here
Hmm.
we have Archie X Army of Darkness. So I guess this is like the next crossover series from Dynamite because they had Harley X Elvira. So now they have Archie X Army of Darkness. I don't know if there's any others, but yeah, there you go. Army of Darkness and Archie. This kind of ranks up there with Archie meets the Punisher,
Hmm.
but this is probably more the Afterlife with Archie or the Riverdale style Archie than the
Right.
typical Archie is what I would guess.
Yeah.
Then 204, you said 211, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm not for sure about this one, but we have also from Dynamite Muppet Noir #1. So it looks like we have Kermit as a detective, noir style PI. Um, and I don't, again, they're not giving us a lot of details about how long this series is. I assume it almost has to be more than a one shot, but they don't say. Which really, really bothers me. It's like say ongoing or say four issues or whatever. Um, but they say featuring a clue-filled cover art from both the author and guest artist Declan Shalvey. So that implies that there's some you can do a little bit of spy work just by looking at the cover, but who knows? That may just be play of words to, try to sell some books or whatever. But that kind of has me a little bit intrigued. Just the whole Muppets as gumshoe detectives. So. And Mike, just so you know, you're muted.
You might also be able to see how long this run would be if by looking at the QR code that's on that next page on 206, where it takes you to an interview with the writer.
Does it say?
It doesn't say. It just says that it just takes you to the interview. Maybe they ask him how long is this going to run.
Okay, maybe I'll look into that while you're. My next thing's not until page 269.
Okay. I am at 211. That's what it was.
211. Okay.
And this is the next iteration of Disney villains, Ursula #1. I've off and on again picked up some of these for my granddaughters, and Little Mermaid's one of their favorites, so I'll probably get this. And then I'm good until 246.
It's still you then.
246 we have, this is from Ex Posse or Execution Posse Holdings or whatever it's called. Anyway, it's Maid Cafe. It's just the cover art caught my attention. It looks like a chainsaw wielding maid, and it's got a cover by Mark Spears. So there's a good reason why it caught my eye. So that's really all I know about it. Looks like some sort of a horror book. I have a feeling that the interior art won't be anything like the cover art.
It's not. It's anime style or manga style.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, right.
Yeah, which is why I skipped it. I'm not a manga fan, but Mark Spears also does a Joker cover in DC on I don't remember which title now, but in DC there's a Joker variant cover that he does.
Okay.
So just FYI.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
And
I'm still 269.
Okay, 252. This one I'm probably going to get for my grandson. He's just a year old in a couple days, and he discovered Winnie the Pooh with me. We were standing there when we were babysitting the other day, and I was looking through the channels to see what might catch his attention, and we're standing up watching. There's Winnie the Pooh. So it's the original, the classic, and he got the biggest kick out of Winnie the Pooh and all the characters. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is his gateway into comics. So I'm going to get this Pooh Bear Adventures from Keenspot.
Okay, just so you know, be careful, Mike.
Okay.
Because with Pooh being in the public domain, not everything Winnie the Pooh is safe for young children. Just remember that, okay?
Okay.
Just glancing at this looks fine.
Yeah.
But, I know there's some, what is the silly stuff they're doing now? Like, it's like a dead Pooh instead of Deadpool.
I think I remember seeing that, yeah.
Yeah, so just look twice.
Yeah, good idea.
Is all I'm going to say. Just at a glance. Anytime you see adventures, it's like it reminds you of Batman animated adventures or Justice League adventures, and it's usually kid friendly. But I'm looking to see if it actually had kid friendly any place.
It doesn't say. It just says with playful humor and timeless charm, this fresh take honors A.A. Milne's classic stories while bringing the magic to a new generation.
Okay, it does say new all-age comic book. Okay, so there it is. It's on the second line.
Oh, okay.
All right. So there we go. All right, all ages.
But, I would have read it. Well, he's only a year old anyway. Even if I did accidentally was reading it to him, and it'd be like, oh my gosh, he wouldn't know what he was seeing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have until Image.
All right, so 269. So it's kind of crazy how things happen. So I set up at the show in Evansville, Indiana 3 times a year. And there's a few artists in Evansville, Indiana, that have done some professional work. There's like Todd Fox. He's worked for Marvel. He's done some Marvel Comics Presents and some Punisher issues. He worked with Chuck Dixon on Scout War Shaman. So in my space that I have, I will like usually just volunteer a table for him to set up. There's another artist there named David Brandstetter who has done some work for Image on the book Super Freaks, which he basically had a Captain Tootsie stories that was published in the Super Freaks. But one of these previous shows, neither of them were unavailable, or were not available to. They didn't want to take the space.
Mm-hmm.
So another guy I knew in Evansville said, "Hey, I got a buddy. Would you, since Todd, he was also friends with Todd, isn't going to be there, could he sit there with you?" And I said, "Absolutely." So this guy's name was Anthony Taylor, and what he brought with him was a book called The Art of George Wilson. So George Wilson is an artist who, has done lots of comic work, paperback covers, painted artwork for a long time. Now, he's not somebody that I was specifically familiar with, but whenever I kind of flip through one of his books, it's like, oh yeah, I've seen some of this artwork before, but I wouldn't have known him by name. But now here on page 269 from Hermes Press, you have The Art of George Wilson that was written by Anthony Taylor. So Anthony Taylor lives in the Evansville, Indiana area.
Wow.
And he actually was set up with me at a table, and he was selling this book. So it's just kind of crazy how things work out.
Yeah.
So now it's listed previously offered through other distributors, available for the first time through Lunar. So I guess, and it kind of goes through and shows several pages of the George Wilson artwork, including Phantom and Magnus Robot Fighter, and several others there, so you can kind of get a feel for how these painted books our painted covers actually look. So it's one of those informational books. And Anthony Taylor does have he's done a lot of stuff as far from the publishing side. Not, I don't know if he's done anything with like Tomorrow's or anything, but some other books like this, some you know art of compilation type books. He's done those in the past as well. So
Yeah.
so this is somebody that I actually know. Talked to him. He was actually at the Evansville show last weekend. I talked to him for a few minutes there. So that was kind of cool. And here he is, solicited in the Lunar catalog. So
There might be enough impetus now for me to buy this. It's 9 by 12 hardcover. That would be a nice coffee table book.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway, page
Okay.
269 in the catalog. So
All right. Great.
all right, I'm on page 303, which is also an Image. So
Yep. All right.
where
go
are you
ahead.
starting at? Where are you starting at in Image?
303.
Well, I'm going to let you take this one.
Okay.
I think
it's-
you are. Yeah, I think you know this one better than me. So
All I know is Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. I am now considering myself a loyal follower. I'll probably get everything new that they bring out, and I'm trying like heck to catch up on all their previous works. But this is a new criminal book. It's called 5 Gears in Reverse, and it's it's a graphic novel featuring the legendary Ricky Lawless and the crazy tale of how he and Mallory fell in love in the midst of a crime spree. So it's I here to quote one of the testimonials here. Brubaker and Phillips don't hit a wrong note. Now you could say that about most anything they've written. So I'm grabbing this just because I think it's going to be my thing to I'm going to pick up any of their original work and try to catch up on their old work.
yeah, Ed Brubaker is one of those writers because of he wrote the Winter Soldier, Captain America, Winter Soldier, introduced Winter Soldier into the Marvel Universe, and he had a terrific run on Daredevil. Kind of at the same, him and Brian Michael Bendis. I think I can't remember if it was Brubaker then Bendis or Bendis then Brubaker, but that was for the longest time. Daredevil was the best book at Marvel, and it was because of Brubaker and because of Bendis. So yeah, anything that Brubaker writes is definitely worth considering. That is
Yeah.
100% for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
305. We have a new series. Once again, it doesn't tell us if it's ongoing or limited. I'm going to assume limited, but it's called White Sky. So it's another post-apocalyptic story. I think we're getting a mixture of ghosts along with a frozen wasteland,
Mm-hmm.
though it is a little bit light on the details. But we do have 6 very small pages of artwork on the subsequent page.
Yeah, the artwork looks really great. But like you said, the premise is pretty scant on detail. But it's basically a woman named Violet and her father David are they're kind of like fleeing toward the ruins of San Francisco in this dystopic future. And it's like I mean you could compare it to a lot, just about anything that's dystopian because
Mm-hmm.
there's so many stories that are like that. But a lot of them are pretty good. The last one I think I probably read like this was Sweet Tooth. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, um, yeah. I'm
305.
well. That was what you just had, right? 305.
Oh, I'm sorry, 307.
Okay, go ahead. I'm at
Okay, so
309.
this is Death Fight Forever. This is a 5-issue series from Andrew McLean and Alexis Zirrett. It's kind of got some crazy looking artwork. It kind of reminds me of the was it a Dennis Camp book from last month, or
Mm-hmm.
was it a different writer? Just anyway, very bright,
Psychedelic looking.
psychedelic neon
Yeah.
coloring for the book, so it's very similar in that regards. So Super Thief, Bruiser Brothers, Crash and Bash Biggle jump into action to help Commander Thunderfang fight interdimensional crime boss Lord Slither. All right, not really something that I'm probably going to buy, but it is a new #1, and at least the artwork was out there enough to at least attract my attention. All right, did you say you wanted to talk about 309?
I had it down. Yeah, 309,
Okay.
and I mean everybody should get this. It's called Dork, and that's D apostrophe O R K or D apostrophe O R C.
C, yes.
So it's this character's half dwarf, half orc, and that makes one dork. And it's by Brett Bean, both story and art. I, it's just it's just kind of silly. I just brought it up because I seen the name and I thought, well, I might as well mention it. I don't know how serious it is. It looks like it's probably all very much humorous, armed with nothing but a magical yet ambitiously violent shield. A lonely orphan stumbles headfirst into a never ending war between the light and the dark, elves versus orcs. So if you like your humor mixed in with your fantasy, here you go.
I would say anybody who's a fan of I Hate Fairyland, probably this would be a book for them.
That's a good comparison. Yeah.
Especially since Brett Bean is an artist on I Hate Fairyland, and John Francois Bellew was also the colorist on I Hate Fairyland. So if you're a fan of that, then this is probably going to be something for you. They also talk about, it's the letter worked on Minor Threats. So yeah, hilarious high fantasy romp.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know that fans of Conan and Lord of the Rings would be
Yeah, maybe
tied
not.
in for high fantasy comedy romps, but it is what it is. 313.
Okay.
All right, so you have The Thing on the Doorstep, issue 1 of 5, story by Simon Burks, art by Willie Roberts. So it basically is I don't know, a sanitarium horror / crime story. 2 friends, one kills the other one swears they didn't do it, but they're both locked away in a sanitarium, so who knows what's going on through the minds of these people. So, again, 5 issues, horror crime. It looks. I'm trying to decide if it's not quite. Yeah, it's definitely not set in modern times based on the clothes that the
Hmm.
people in the sanitarium are wearing as well. So,
You know, I guess I just assumed that the name Arkham would have been copyrighted by DC.
well, Cthulhu is public domain, and that all basically comes from Cthulhu.
I didn't know that.
Hmm
You know, I
So
have.
you'll see, yeah,
Yeah.
you'll see Cthulhu and Arkham used lots of different places. I know Jeremy Hahn. A lot of his books are references to Cthulhu mythology.
Hmm.
So because it's out there in the public domain.
That's one horror writer I've never touched is H.P. Lovecraft, and I don't know
I
that
haven't
I ever
either,
will.
but
Yeah.
there was a game. There's an Arkham horror game
Hmm.
that is based. There's actually a couple. There's a card game and a board game, and I have played both a little bit. So,
Yeah.
I'm only rudimentarily familiar with Lovecraft and Cthulhu. But
Gotcha. I've got 315, unless you
15,
do.
go for it. I do too, but you go for it.
Well, it's just that just when you think there can't be any more Universal monsters to cover, they come up with the next series, which is Phantom of the Opera by Tyler Boss and Martin Simmons, and it speaks for itself. It's another Universal Studios owned property, horror story, probably best known for its musical. And yeah, I've why stop now? I've bought every single Universal Monsters run, so I haven't read any of the Invisible Man yet, so I'm a
Okay.
bit
I say
behind.
so. You've read some. I have them on my list that I keep of things that I want to read, but I also
Hmm.
have not read what is out. Frankenstein, Creature,
Dracula,
Dracula, Wolfman. Now we have Phantom. So this is the fifth one. Oh,
Invisible.
Mummy,
Oh, Mummy,
six,
Invisible
and
Man.
then
Yeah,
and
right.
seven. Okay, so there's seven. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like there's going to be more. So I
Oh,
mean, they
yeah,
could
yeah.
always do Bride of Frankenstein. They could always, there's lots of others they could introduce
Oh, total
as well.
tangent, but I
So
seen my wife and I when we were in New York, we went to see a movie, and in the previews they showed a trailer for The Bride, which was a take on The Bride of Frankenstein, featuring none other than Christian Bale as the monster, the Frankenstein monster,
oh,
and I forgot who the woman was that played the bride, but it looked kind of campy, but in a good way. So I don't know if we'll see it or not. So, but we seen The Running Man was the main movie we seen, which I highly recommend. That was really great.
okay.
That
Looks like
latest Running Man.
Jesse Jesse Buckley is the bride.
Okay.
Christian Bale is Frankenstein's monster. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
What has she been in? Wild Rose, Lost Daughter. I'm not really not familiar with her, but
I don't know. Did you ever see the Running Man original
I
movie?
saw the original, the
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah. This
Running
is
Man. Yes.
this one has oh, I forget his name now, but he's mostly plays in rom-coms I think recently, but he played in the Top Gun remake or sequel, and he played in something else with Sydney Sweeney, but
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell, yes,
Okay.
but he did a great job. It was a really fun, crazy, wild movie. Okay, the movie reviews are over. Back
Movie
to
reviews.
comics.
Back to your pre-orders for generally February of 2026. I'm on page 350.
Okay, go ahead. I'm 352.
All right, so to piggyback on our fairly recent first five of the Savage Dragon, we have issue 279 of the Savage Dragon. That this is introducing the fourth of, I guess, the children of the second Savage Dragon, Maddie Dragon. Though I could be off. I haven't read any of this, and I think this has been solicited several months ago because I remember like 2 months in a row we had back-to-back solicitations for like the introduction of these legacy characters,
Hmm.
and I think we're still seeing that they haven't quite come out yet, so maybe we'll get them this time. But yeah, so this is the fourth sibling dragon sibling to take center stage here in Savage Dragon 279 as it inches closer to issue 300.
On 352, man, I sounded like a hillbilly when I said it like that. 352. On 352, we had Skinbreaker number 6. Now, you might ask, why is he bringing up the sixth issue of a series that he's never mentioned before, even though it's by Robert Kirkman and David Finch? But I bring it up because they are soliciting it as a Treasury edition. So I don't know if I'll get that. I don't think I even have read I don't even remember the first 5 issues, much less read them. So
Did you buy the first 5 issues?
no, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
I did pick this up, so I have copies of it. Was
Okay.
not impressed.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
FYI.
Okay.
But anytime Kirkman's involved now, you have to kind of pick those first issues up just in case.
Right.
But yeah, sixth issue I'm not so sure about. So
Yeah. 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 Just a novelty.
it's like, okay, Treasury Edition is your volleyball comic book. I understand, Mike.
Right.
We'll form a support group. All right, I'm on 438.
Okay, I've got just a mention here on 376, Redcoat Deluxe Book #1 hardcover. Again, this is this character that I've been buying the single issues of since the very beginning, by Jeff Johns and Brian Hitch and Andrew Curry and Brad Anderson, and this collects issues 1 through 14 in the hardcover format. So if you're deciding because you've heard the Redcoat was going to be picked up for a movie, or is it a TV show?
I don't remember.
Whichever. If you decide you want to get caught up on this character, you can do it through this book here and only be set back $60.
Feature film.
Feature film. Okay.
Feature film. All right, what do you got next?
387.
Okay, still you.
Okay. And just when you think of they've ran out of ideas for a barbarian story, you have Mad Cave putting out a book called Barbarian Behind Bars. The covers are pretty striking, but it's the solicitation asks the question: who is the mysterious muscle-bound warrior who came to our world in a storm of magic and violence? That's what Public Defender Irene Chang wants to know. He came out of nowhere, he doesn't speak English, and now she's supposed to help him beat a murder charge after he chopped some other weird dude's head off. So it goes on, but you get the idea. Anyway, it sounds kind of like wild and maybe a little bit of fun, maybe not taking a fantasy story too seriously. So if you want something like that, there you go, from Mad Cave Studios.
I did not have that down, and the artwork did kind of catch my. It's kind of like that. I would call it watercolor artwork. I don't know. It does remind me a little bit of Matt Kent, at least how he does. It's a little bit more. What's the way to well defined? I guess maybe.
Yeah.
Than what I would say like Matt Kent's watercolor type stuff is. But I did not read the solicit. I thought, barbarian, but I don't know. That kind of piqued my interest as you were kind of reading through that. So,
Yeah.
And then I looked at the art again. It's like, I think I kind of like that. So
Yeah.
I'm adding that to my list, Mike.
All
I'm
right,
putting that on the
good.
list.
All right.
I'm glad you made me look twice.
Success story. All right.
There you go. All right. Still on 438.
409, and let me buzz up to that page, is Ted OK. And I don't know why I picked this or wrote it down. This is a story about Ted and Sarah. Ted's isolated and paranoid, works for a mega corporation owned by the world's only trillionaire. Maybe that's what it was. It's a story about Elon Musk. Yes. No, I don't know. Something about it caught my eye. It's the art's a little bit stylized. It's a first issue. It's also from Mad Cave Studios. Yeah, I don't know enough to really say yay or nay, but it was enough that it's caused me to pause. And yeah, you know what? I buy the first issue. I'm only out, $5-6. And now I'm good up until 555.
All right, so I got a couple before that at least. So, all right, so 438. I'm not for sure how I missed this title before, but this is a massive indies book with First Comics. Now this is the number one. Oh, okay, I think it's the same. It's got the same logo as the 80s and 90s First Comics.
Yeah,
does.
I noticed
okay.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, this is Space Negro, The Last Negro, issue number 5. How did we miss this? I'm not really for sure.
Yeah.
But so this is apparently the final issue of this series. So here it is at last, the long-awaited conclusion to the first story arc of Space Negro, The Last Negro. And the I don't know the yeah, this is just what got me. Supernova Watkins fights for the fate of the universe against the extinguisher of realities known as Gary. So, again, I just with a title like that, I don't know how I overlooked this in the book before.
Same here. I don't know how I missed it either. But then again, you get into these indies books and you sort of just scroll and
Well, it's not
miss.
it's not like it was in the Diamond Previews catalog where there's like 12 books per page. I mean,
Right.
and I don't know. Maybe it was just. I mean, this would have been what 4 months ago at least. So who knows why I missed it? Heck, who knows if it was even in the catalog at that point? It could have
True.
still been over at Diamond, and that's why we missed it. So, but yeah, I'm part of me is like I may need to go to try to track this series down. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then on 510, I don't think this is something I'm going to pick up, but I'm just throwing it out there. This is from Oni Press. Murder Drones #1 of 6. So apparently there is an Amazon Prime series about these murder drones. And it has the record-setting comics adaptation of the series that you have watched 330 million times. So apparently it is relatively popular. So we have Murder Drones #1. I'm not going to say anything else about it, just because, but for fans of the animated series, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, and then I'm not till 581.
Okay. 555. We have Frankenstein: The Unconquered, Book 1, and I don't know. Maybe because Frankenstein seems to be at the forefront of a lot of pop culture these days, but this is a take on the character. It says 500 years after the end of Mary Shelley's novel, so you're talking 2300 something.
Mm-hmm.
It says the Arctic thaws and the beast awakens to a bombed out post-apocalypse as hideous and hostile as he is. So it looks a bit of a futuristic barbarian Frankenstein. He's sword wielding, and I don't know. It's got enough. I mean, again, maybe it's just the Frankenstein is like jumping out at me these days, but I think I might grab it.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and the art did not do anything for me at all. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it looks a little amateurish on the
Yeah.
art side, but I did, but the Frankenstein made me look twice. So,
Yeah. It's
but
from
the second
Prana.
this time the second look wasn't enough to make me want to pull the trigger.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned Prana Publishers, Source Point Press. So I'm good until 650 now.
All right, so on 581, the title I will continue to mention every single time it's solicited. We had The Future Is, issue number 10. Once again, this is that from Recca Publishing, which is Black Hills Information Security. They actually are a pen testing crew and cybersecurity group, but they are producing some comics. This is written by Fred Van Lente. It is still the first book I read whenever I open up my shipment every single month. They're once again doing the 10 books for $10. Anybody who wants to buy a bundle of it. But on the next page, 582, you have The Future Is Annual 2026, which is at the low, low price of free. So you get 24
Wow.
pages for free, which is supposed to give you a good jumping on point for anyone who has not read the first, I would assume, 10 issues to be able to kind of catch up with the story and understand what is happening. And I do want to note that the free book is so nice that they listed it twice in the catalog, because it's also the exact same page as on page 583. And the only thing they changed was the free comic. So instead of saying free comic, it says free. But it does have a cover by Paul Pope. So, so be for sure, if you're a completist, that you also get The Future Is Annual 2026 for free. And if you have any interest in cybersecurity, I think it's absolutely one that you should pick up. So,
Yeah.
and I'm at 602.
It's still you then.
All right, so 602, and this is my last thing here in next phase. We have from Titan Comics, Diablo Dawn of Hatred. This is the first of 4 issues based on the Diablo video game, written by Cullen Bunn. I have no idea. I can't imagine that this is the first Diablo comic book. But I guess that's a possibility. I'm looking in Key Collector right now, and no. Okay, so there was a Diablo series from DC in 2012, and let's see. Oh, and then Dark Horse had Diablo Tales of Sanctuary back in 2001. So definitely far from being the first Diablo comic book. But for fans of the video game, here you can read some additional stuff in the Diablo world.
Sure enough, you can even scan a QR code to watch the Diablo 4 game trailer. So yeah, I'm 650. Are you done then?
I'm done. I am done with next phase.
Okay, tomorrow's publishing. I bring up the Jim Aparo, Brave and Bold Artist. Sometimes I get confused as to what has been solicited and what hasn't, or if it's been solicited before. And if I have mentioned this before, I apologize. But Jim Aparo to me is like one of the. If I think of an artist, when I think of Batman, I think of Jim Aparo because I just read the sheer volume of stories drawn by him with that character, and it's written by Eric Nolan Wethington and Jim Amash. Now I've met Eric Nolan Wethington before at Heroes Con, and I've corresponded or at least read on the same message boards as him, so I know the name and got to meet him once at a con. So yeah, that's something. And then right behind that is on 651 Roy Thomas, A Life in Four Colors. So it's basically the life story of Rascally Roy and his, all of those sort of legendary stories we've heard about him and his partnership with Stan and his short run as an assistant to DC editor Mort Weisinger, and I'm sure with Roy being sort of not only one of the most prolific writers in the history of comics, but also one of the greatest fans. I mean, he's written and been involved in so many fanzines. This seems like something just as automatic you need to pick up.
Yeah, and the number of titles for tomorrow's, again, a lot of them are previously solicited, but there are pages and pages and pages of books that are still available from tomorrow. So if you have an interest in the history of comic books or other pop culture areas, you absolutely need to check out the tomorrow section here in the Next Phase catalog.
It's not to go over the top with this, but I mean, there are other publishers out there that put out reference books. This is the one you can count on it being legitimate for sure. You know it's authentic. You know they've done the research. It's not it's not just fly by night stuff. So highly recommended.
All right, I'm done with Next Phase.
As am I.
All right, so we're ready to head over to panels.
Panels from PMR.
Panels. So let's just go to page 7. All right, so panels, one of the things that they do is they pick they don't really describe it as like their featured comics for the month or anything like that, but usually pretty early in the book at the top of the comic book section, they have, this time they have 6 comic books that they are kind of highlighting. So we're going to go through them real quick. There's a couple, or there's at least one of them that I actually did want to talk about anyway, but if we don't have anything more to say about them, we're just going to give them a thumbs up, thumbs down, on whether or not we plan on ordering them or what we think about them. So the first one is from Boom Studios. This is Hello Darkness, Good Bones, and Other Sordid Tales. Comic script by Steve Orlando, illustrated by Federico Ceresa, Adam Gorham, and various. So it's a spine-tingling special you won't want to miss. So it's apparently a horror anthology book. It is a one-shot from Boom Studios. So Mike, thumbs up, thumbs down on a new horror anthology.
Thumbs up. I picked up a lot of the Hello Darkness issues. Usually, not every single one, because they're anthologies, so it wasn't like you needed continuity, but I really based my buying on how much I liked the cover. And they
Oh,
usually had pretty good covers, so I bought a few of them. So yeah, I'll pick this up.
okay. It's probably gonna be a thumbs down for me, especially since I haven't read any of the others. I don't know why I would want to start now, this late
Hmm.
into the series. So next page we have Leonid, the I'm going to say vampire because it's spelled differently than vampire, but I guess it's still vampire. Comic script by Mike Mignola, illustrated by Rachel Aragno, colorist Dave Stewart. After the vampire girl is chased off by the townspeople, she is found unresponsive and whisked away by wagon to a doctor. So this is apparently a continuation of the Leonid the vampire story, written by Mike Mignola. So, Mike, you gonna order this one? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Yeah, I'm a thumbs down too. I'm going to. There was something Mike Mignola that he had written recently. I think it was last month, and I'm going to try that out. I guess if it ends up being really, really good, then maybe I'll come back to this book at some point in the future. But for now, it's a thumbs down for me as well.
Okay.
All right, next page we have from Distillery, A Mischief of Magpies, comic script by Simon Spurrier, illustrated by Matthias Bergara. Mar has a secret. Sometimes without warning, he falls out of the world. This would be an inconvenience if his life wasn't already such a drag. So I'll just go ahead and say Distillery pretty much gives this a thumbs down for me out of the gate. What about you, Mike?
I'm going to say thumbs up
I know why, too.
because Cy Spurrier.
Because that's by Cy Spurrier.
Yeah, Cy Spurrier. There, I can't say his Flash run was everything I wanted it to be. It wasn't. I don't think a character right for him. But one of the best books I've read in the last couple of years was Step by Bloody Step by him and Matthias Bergara, and anything that's maybe not mainstream by Cy Spurrier, I think I will give it a chance.
All right, then next we have Smile for the Camera #1 from IDW. This is a IDW Dark title. It's Fashion Month 2005. Five young international models have just landed in New York City, ready to tackle 4 grueling weeks of runways, press, and cameras as they try to make it big. The girls become fast friends until one seems to crack under the pressure. Little does everyone know that she is afflicted by an entity bent on destruction and pain. So I guess we've got a serial killer model story. So thumbs up, thumbs down, Mike.
It's enough like a Doug Wagner book that I'm going to say thumbs up.
Really? Okay. I'm gonna go thumbs down. I'm not really into the slasher style books
Yeah.
myself. So, all right. Then we have from Ignition Press, Ripcord #1, script by Cullen Bunn, illustrated by Aneki. The drug known as Ripcord has become the scourge of the world. It's extremely addictive, and it doesn't just alter your perception, it fundamentally alters who you are. Ripcord users have their whole bodies taken over by the substance, and it transforms them into mindless frenzied killers who want nothing but to destroy. This makes every place the drug has grown popular dangerous. So, Cullen Bunn from the fairly new imprint from Jeremy Hahn, Ripcord #1, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, I'm torn on this one. I'm probably going to say thumbs down, even though I like Bunn's work usually. The story about a drug and I feel like it's a little too close to real world stuff.
Reality, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
just
bath salts. It's like bath salts all over again.
yeah.
But
I
you have
mean,
people, zombies chewing people's faces off.
yeah. Just a little too close to, not close to home. Personally, I'm just saying it's in my line of work. I've seen what drugs have done to some people, and it's pretty messed up. So no, I don't want to. I don't want my entertainment to be filled with that too.
Right. Yeah, I want to do thumbs up on this one. I don't think I'm going to order it though, so I guess I'll have to ultimately give it a thumbs down. a lot of the work that Cullen Bunn does is for licensed properties. There's been a lot of licensed work that he's done, and I think that he probably doesn't give 100% on some of the licensed stuff, but this would be
Mm-hmm.
something that is owned by him.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
would expect a higher level of storytelling, and that's almost enough to make me want to order this. But because again, like you said, it feels a little too close to the real world.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to hold off on this one unless I hear it's like really, really good. Then
Yeah.
I wouldn't hesitate to return to it.
Mm-hmm.
But my initial thought is I'm going to take a pass on it.
Yep.
And then the last of these featured books is from Marvel Comics, and they don't call it Marvel Comics; they call it Marvel Universe in the catalog. Daredevil #1, comic script by Stephanie Phillips, illustrated by Lee Garbett. You can bury the bodies, but never the ghost. Hell's Kitchen is full of secrets, but no secret stays buried for long. So it's my understanding that this is supposed to be a soft reboot for Daredevil, with
Hmm.
a new creative team coming on to the book. So this is Stephanie Phillips' first issue. I read a very small, probably just a headline of an interview with her where it implied again that it is a soft reboot. So I'm definitely going to pick it up. So it's a thumbs up for me. I'm a Daredevil fan, and I try to read Daredevil on a regular basis. So I am
Yeah.
going to pick this up. It also, I don't know, ironically or unironically, does have a blind bag available for it. That's maybe a little too on the nose.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Okay.
ouch. What the heck? I
Yeah.
guarantee you somebody's like, oh, what are you
Yeah.
guys thinking? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about you, Mike? Thumbs up, thumbs down on
Oh,
Daredevil
definitely
number
thumbs
one.
up. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Stephanie Phillips, she's one of the newer writers. I say newer. She's been around for probably 15 years, but I've enjoyed her work, and I like Lee Garbett's art, and I like Daredevil. He's one of those Marvel characters that I can take a lot more of than some of the other Marvel characters. So, yeah, I definitely am going to pick this up. Soft rebooter or not, it's um, I do kind of wish they would just continue the series, but
Hmm.
it's past complaining about that anymore. So, yeah, I'm going to get this.
All right. All right. So I'm on page 16.
Okay, go ahead. It's you.
All right. So this is from Boom. This is called The Center Holds. This is a new superhero universe is born, and that superhero universe is created by one Larry Hama, also by artist MD Doc Bright.
Hmm.
So for some fans who are looking for a new superhero verse, this might be a book worth considering. Larry Hama is, of course, probably best known for his writing on G.I. Joe, but he has been in the industry for quite a while.
As has Mark Bright. Or Doc Bright. I can't remember what I remember him,
Let me see.
being the artist on, but I had this marked down
Telephone
to pick
page.
up as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it doesn't give us any like some of their previous work there, unfortunately, to feed off of.
I
But
also
yeah,
had, oh, sorry,
go ahead.
the numbering system on this catalog, those because I look them up on the individual catalogs and then I cross reference with the main
Right.
catalog, so I don't have them in a particular order here, but I have on page 36, and I figured you probably had that too, so I should let you take that.
Okay. Well, that's I assume we're talking about from IDW, Rocketeer, The
Hmm.
Island. So we have a new miniseries featuring Dave Stewart. Oh my gosh, Dave Stevens' creation. We talked about Dave Stewart earlier as the colorist, I think, on the
Yeah.
Mignola book, right? So I had the name on my brain. So anyway, the Dave Stevens character. So IDW has put out several of these series. The only ones I thought were really, really good were the Mark Waid, Chris Somney ones. The others have
Hmm.
been okay. I will definitely read this one and probably pick it up and just see how it is because it's got Rocketeer in it. And that's just about all it takes for me to buy it. So
And I wrote it down at first just because I knew it was something that you'd be mentioning. But the main reason I'm definitely going to buy this is because the plot is that it's 1938 and Cliff's Accord is recruited to lead a rescue mission to find Amelia Earhart. Now, I've been, since I was a kid, a fan of Amelia Earhart. Just the idea, and then we're talking, she's an historical figure, the first woman pilot, and she broke so many, um, you know, not really records, but also broke
Barriers, yeah.
yeah, she just broke through in so many ways for women, and I just one of my true historic heroes, and I'm gonna get this, and John Layman's a good writer too. I read his stuff with he wrote Chew, which was
Oh,
covered
yeah.
on one of the road shows, and or wait, no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. No,
Yep.
we covered Chew. I think I covered
Maybe.
Farmhand.
Okay.
Farmhand was, yeah, it's very similar, and anyway, and he's a current writer on the Titans, I think. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
My next thing is page 48.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, I think we had talked about this before, right?
Yep.
So we have the Black Panther, a 60th anniversary special. So this is going to be an anthology book celebrating 6 decades of T'Challa, the Black Panther. We actually had decided before we recorded that, hey, what are we going to do for our next episode? Well, we'll probably need to do a first 5, and oh, it's Marvel's term. Oh, yeah. Well, then I guess we'll have to talk about Black Panther. So, spoilers for the coming up next, we're going to be talking about the first 5 appearances of the Black Panther in the next episode of the Campus Comics cast. But, Mike, you want to add anything to the Black Panther 60th anniversary?
No, even before we decided to do that, I had this marked down because it's a landmark issue, and I don't need to know much more about the story, just that it's a character that is really uh, it's just one of the best Marvel characters out there, best in comics, really. So I'm going to pick it up regardless. And now that we're going to talk about it on a first 5, I think it'll be a good, uh, just a little bit of an impetus to do that.
Okay. Page 50.
Okay, go ahead. I'm
Okay.
done.
I'm not talking about this because it's a facsimile. I'm talking about this because of the story. So they are giving us a facsimile of Daredevil number 183. So this is 180, 182, 183, 184 is a Frank Miller story that involves Daredevil and the Punisher. And this is one of the reasons why the Punisher, even though he first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man, he will always be in my mind, a Daredevil character and part of the more so the Daredevil street level stuff than the Amazing Spider-Man stuff. It's probably one of my favorite Daredevil stories, and definitely one of my favorite Daredevil Punisher stories. It also comes on the heels of the death of Elektra, and so it's really really good. I don't think you can, for sure, read it on the Marvel app. This book's too new for them to be doing a facsimile of. I think that's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, I just gave me a chance to talk about that story, so I just really really like it.
I need to read that
Probably
sometime.
I probably need to read it again myself. So
Yeah.
all right, I'm on page 55.
Okay, still you.
Okay, so on page 55, of course, in the panels catalog, I actually did not have this to talk about until I flipped through the Marvel catalog separately. So we have It's Jeff Meets Daredevil number 1. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is not because it's written by Kelly Thompson or illustrated by Gurihuri or Gurihuru, but because it actually has a pseudo homage cover of Jeff uh, basically swimming beside the Punisher on a jet ski, and that is an homage to a Jim Lee cover, I think, back in Punisher War Journal. So it's kind of a cool looking cover. So if
Wait,
you
wait.
jump in the Marvel catalog, you can see it. So
Oh, but you can't see it on in panels.
you can't see it in panels. No, you can see
Okay,
it in the
okay,
Marvel
okay,
catalog.
okay. I missed it. All
Yeah,
right.
so you can actually see it in the Marvel catalog,
Okay.
but you on the panels catalog, it just shows up as a just a
Pink cover.
pink cover. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not the cover.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was the cover, but I'm like, what's going on here? And yeah, I'll have to go back to the Marvel catalog.
Yeah, it's kind of a nifty cover. So, and there's a lot of stuff. I think Mike and I have discussed this in detail. Should we just go through panels? Should we break down the individual catalogs, and there's a lot of stuff that you will miss if you don't go through all the individual catalogs. But for the sake of time, I prefer to just go through panels. But I don't know.
Still a work in progress.
Still, yeah, we'll figure it out eventually. So I'm on 57.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we have Magic and Colossus. Of course, if you don't know, Magic and Colossus are brother and sister in the Marvel Universe. And here we're getting the brother and sister team up to basically return to the motherland and fight what I hope are some, mythical monsters from Russian folklore. So that, I think I'm more interested in that idea than even the fact that Peter and Alanya are teaming up. So I definitely will read this on the app if I don't decide to pick up the individual issues. And then 59.
You're on a roll.
All right. Okay. So sorry, Mike. Don't mean to be hogging all the bandwidth here.
No.
So we have a new Punisher #1. So I think we went over a year where we did not have Frank Castle in a comic. And now over the last 6 months, this is the third individual series. We had a Punisher series, which I actually missed the first issue of. Then we had the Punisher Red series, which was the Red Band series. And now we've got a new ongoing Punisher #1, written by Benjamin Percy, illustrated by Jose Luis Suarez. All right, so Frank Castle is back. And it does have a parental advisory warning on it, but I am a pretty big Punisher fan, so I will be picking this up. Plus, we have the return of what is probably considered Frank Castle's main villain, which is Jigsaw.
I haven't read a single Punisher story in my life.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't know if this would be something I could pick up without, having any of the. I know because he's such an iconic character now. But I've got the Welcome Back Frank. It's actually a bound collection that someone sold to me. Actually, a guy named, you probably heard of him, Shane. He sold me his bound copy, and someday I wouldn't mind covering the Punisher sometime just to get me into that character.
Well, I think a great place to start would be Daredevil 182, 183, 184.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Daredevil. Punisher is one of those characters where it depends on who's writing him, whether or not they're actually good stories or not. Mm-hmm. So, but that's one of my favorites. So I'd start there, and then who knows beyond that. So.
Okay. So many comics, so little time.
That's right. All right. I've got 2 more things for Marvel, but they are not here in panels. So what else do you have for Marvel?
I only have a comment.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I looked at the Star Wars section, there's only 2 books that are in the Marvel catalog. Star Wars #10 by Alex Segura and illustrated by Luke Ross, and then Star Wars Jar Jar #1. But then I've noticed more and more over in Dark Horse are being picked up. So I don't know if it's sort of a transition of license or how that's working. But yeah, it used to be there was like a huge section in the Marvel catalog for Star Wars.
I would say that Disney has decided they can make as much money licensing the Star Wars property as they can producing the books themselves. So, and of course, if they're making decisions to release a #1 for Jar Jar, well then, that makes me question their decision making. Though I did just notice that it was written by Ahmad Best, who, by the way, played Jar Jar in the Phantom Menace.
Oh,
or not the Phantom Menace. Yeah, the Phantom Menace.
Okay.
So, was it the Phantom Menace? Oh man, that's terrible.
I don't know.
Had to have been the Phantom Menace. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right, so 2 books that are not here in the panels catalog, but are in the Marvel catalog, and these are just some #1s. There is a new Moon Knight, Mark Spector Moon Knight.
I've seen that.
For anybody who's interested, it's on page 21 in the Marvel catalog. So let's see, Jed MacKay writer, Devmelia Promenick is the artist, cover by E.M. Gist. Mark Spector has been many things, and now kidnapped. All right, so apparently we have Moon Knight missing. And then on page 46 in the Marvel catalog, we have Deadly Hands of Kunlun. So this looks to have several of the Iron Fist ancillary characters. Is that the right word, Mike? Am I misusing that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
ancillary is sort of like
the secondary
adjacent or
characters.
secondary,
Yeah,
or yeah, right.
yeah. All right. So we have some of those characters featured here. I don't think we have the non Danny Rand Iron Fist, who was the Sword Master, who became Iron Fist for a while. I feel like this is kind of a follow up to the Undead Iron Fist storyline. So I will probably pick this up just because it kind of is a continuation for Iron Fist. All
Cool.
right, and then I'm done with Marvel, so I'm on page 103. I hesitantly say I'm done with Marvel because I'm in the graphic novel section of panels on page 103. So,
Okay.
where are you at?
I'm done.
Oh, you're done.
I
Okay,
am,
well
yeah.
then, okay, this is actually my last thing. We have ROM Epic Collection. The original Marvel Years Volume 4 is being solicited, which goes up to issue 60 of ROM and includes Annual 3 and then ROM's appearance in the Incredible Hulk issue number 296. So I picked up the omnibus, so I don't need the Epic collection. Though I wish they would put these on the Marvel app, but I guess they don't have the rights to do that. They're only putting these out physically, so
Yeah.
which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, I think I could probably mention a couple things in this panels graphic novel section. One is Creepy presents Richard Corbin, and it's written by Doug Munch, and of course all the illustrations are by the late great Richard Corbin. He's just one of those artists that I remember as a kid, probably in a magazine I shouldn't have been looking at that age in a heavy
Yeah.
metal, and thinking, oh my gosh, people can
Yep.
make art like this.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and then there is apparently they're soliciting the DC, the Dark Knight Returns DC Compact Edition, which I'm kind of a fan of these compact books. In fact, I just bought at Midtown Comics Batman Hush, and just in that compact uh, size, and I've got two or three now and I really enjoy. It's just a nice way to hang on to the book. It's not too big, and it's not too small that you can't read it either. So, of course, The Dark Knight Returns is the classic by Frank Miller.
All right, cool.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Well, Mike, what are you looking forward to? Is there anything that you want to
Oh,
call out that you say, "Ooh, this is something that I am excited to read that is coming out at least maybe sometime in February of 2026." And I'm dragging this out a little bit to give you a chance to think about it in case there's something
yeah.
that you look
Well,
at your
I
notes.
there's a few things. There's nothing like this huge standout, but the one of the new Vertigo books, The Peril of the Brutal Dark and Ezra Kane Mystery. I think I'm gonna say that's my top of the stack read when I get it, and yeah, so I'm just gonna go with that.
Well, I've already said that The Future is the first book that I pull out of my box every single time that I get this in.
Hmm.
But I think I'm also gonna throw out there, you know, when you read that solicit for Barbarian Behind Bars,
Yeah.
that I don't know, that just really jumped out at me, and I, I'm kind of looking forward to that. So
Okay.
100%, I think I'm going to be picking that one up. So
Oh, cool.
and read that, at least read that first issue and give it a shot. So all right, you got any investment picks for the future, Mike? That's something you're going to buy and hold on to and cross your fingers that at some point in the future it's going to be worth
Look,
some money.
look, readers or listeners. I'm the guy that gets rid of the first appearance of Redcoat about 3 months before the movie comes out or before it's announced. So I'm not the person you need to listen to. But I would say, if held to it, I would say Daredevil #1 because there's a new villain named Omen, and maybe that will be just the next the next greatest villain for Daredevil. The next Wilson Fisk. I don't know. I also had that DCKO night fight for some reason down. What was? Oh, it was the
Batman,
grandson.
the grandpa.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, I might have taken yours. So your turn.
No, I don't really have one. If I had to pick one, just because I'm sitting there looking at it and it's like, yeah, that can't possibly be anything, but maybe it will. You got the dork, the dwarf orc, so that could just be weird enough. And part of the premise of that series is he has this obnoxious eyeball shield. So there's no telling where that could go. I think didn't Kirkman do the little blurb describing the story, which makes me think that it's something that he can maybe get behind, and it could be something. So maybe, but beyond that, there's nothing really. Maybe one of the I don't know if murder drones. I've never heard anybody talking about murder drones before, about the animated series on Amazon Prime. I don't even see it whenever I flip through Amazon Prime. It's showing up. So I don't know. I guess it's not that popular, but maybe that's. But I would say for investments this month, it's probably a skip. If push comes to shove, I'd call it a skip. But if you are looking for two, those were maybe the two to potentially configure or consider. So
yeah.
All right. So Mike, what's coming up? And we've talked about already. What's coming up on the next episode of the Campus Comics Cast?
We can bring it up again. I mean, since it's the 60th anniversary of Black Panther, and Black Panther being such a great character anyway, let's just do the first 5 appearances of T'Challa.
For anybody who's interested, that's FF 52, 53, 54, 56, and annual number 5. Assuming the internet is correct.
Right.
Yeah.
For a character like that, I'm pretty sure we're going to be locked in.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if the FF issues are, obviously FF52 is definitely the first appearance, so the other ones aren't far behind. So yeah, I guess really the only question mark to me is the annual 5. Make sure that it actually falls in the timeline correctly. So
yeah,
but that's where we'll be starting at, and we'll see if we need to make any adjustments. So.
Right. And we'll also do one of our What We've Been Reading segments. Yeah. It's been a while since we've done that. I've got a couple of things I'm burning to talk about. So
I've got an overflowing short box here of things around my feet. So we'll just see how that goes. I guess we'll see how long we talk about Black Panther and gauge our time, and we'll just however much we can get in after that. We could talk about several of what we've been reading the titles. So
okay,
all right. So Mike, if somebody wanted to reach out to you besides podcast@bergcomics.com, how might they do that?
You can also email me at mike@comicshoproadshow.com, or you can hit me up or you can just comment. Scott and I both will see it. It's the Campus Comics Cast Facebook page. And we appreciate any and all feedback.
All right, and I'm Scott Reed. You can find me at bergcomics.com, BURG comics.com, where there are links to my social media pages and eBay store. We'll be back soon with Black Panther.
Decades.
And just you zoomed in. Yeah, you know what? I think it asked me if I wanted to do the setting. There's a software setting for zooming in. That might be distracting. I don't know if I want. No, it doesn't matter. I'm usually not looking at the video, so I'm checking it. I don't like it. But it's like my AI camera. It just follows you around. Yeah. And sometimes it stares at your crotch. So. Oh shit. My AI camera's a pervert. With AI, you never know. You never know. That's right. So.